Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel Simran Says. Today I will be sharing my top 5 cybersecurity tips that can help you protect yourself and your data in the online world. So let's dive in. Tip number uno. Weak, strong passwords, not weak passwords. Tip number 1. Use strong and unique passwords. Obviously, we're gonna start with passwords. Why? Because it's the easiest for hackers to exploit, right? So having a weak password is like having your front door wide open. Password 123, summer 2025. These are passwords that should not be used. So if you're using this password, this is your sign to change it right now. Instead, you can create a strong password using uppercase and lowercase letters, special characters, numbers. Incorporate that in your password. And here's my favorite tip. If you know a second language, regardless of Punjabi, Hindi, French, German, try to incorporate that in your password. That way it adds an extra layer of security and it makes your password harder to guess. This one's going to be hard because I'm guilty of it too. Now I know it's so easy for us to use the same password for all our accounts, but do not do that because that's like having one key for all your doors and you don't want that. So you use unique passwords. And I know it's so hard to manage and remember those unique passwords. So what you can do instead is use Password Manager. Now that will store all your passwords in one place. I know some people are iffy about using it, but I think if it's a good one, you should definitely use it. So use the Password Manager. I'm also going to mention a website here that basically allows you to check if your email address, if your username, if your password has ever been compromised. So go check that out because it's a good eye-opener and you'll know if you've been your email address or your information, personal information has been a part of any such breach. So do use that. Time for tip number 2. Use two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication, simply known as 2FA or MFA. I think this is so important and I'll tell you why. Now imagine this. You have 2 doors. Even if a thief or a hacker, in our case, breaks into the first one, you have a second door for additional defense. That's what 2FA or MFA does. Now, hypothetically speaking, even if hacker gains access to your account, which they found because it was compromised in a breach and they bought it for $10 on the dark web, yes, that's how cheap it is, they can access your account, but because MFA or 2FA was enabled, they wouldn't be able to get into the second door and bypass the second door because you probably had an email code or an SMS code to it, right? So that's what MFA does. It adds that second layer of security, which is so important because, trust me, it is so easy to buy passwords off of the dark web. You don't want that to happen. Now, using SMS text-based 2FA is also debatable. So I would definitely recommend using Authenticator app or Google Authenticator, Authy, because these apps generate time-sensitive codes that are much harder to intercept. So definitely use one of these apps. Tip number 3, be careful with links and attachments. Phishing scams are one of the most common ways that hackers steal your information. Now they do this by using fake email addresses, fake receipts, fake invoices, messages that are designed to trick you into clicking something malicious or for you to download harmful attachments that consist malware so that they can get into your system. That is not something we want, so always double check the sender's email address. Hackers are really good and they're only getting better. So they're using really great impersonation skills. It can be your bank name with typo-scoring domains such as I'm in Canada, so I'm going to use a Canadian bank example, such as Royal Bank of Canada, right? Now, instead of Royal Bank, they can use Royal bank with BAMK, and I probably missed that out, and I get an email with the same layout, same colors, same design, same labeling, same branding, and suppose there's a button that, deposit your money. But if I click on it and I enter my credentials, they get access to my credentials in plain text. That's not something we want, so always double check the sender's email address. Tip number 4, keep your softwares and your apps updated. When we think of updates, we think of adding a new functionality or a new feature, but that's not it. When apps or software says updates, they also mean that they're fixing any security vulnerabilities that hackers can exploit. So next time when you get a notification that update the app, do it, because they're fixing any potential vulnerability that may exist. You can also set your phones, your computer, or your apps to update automatically, and this way you're always protected with the latest security patches. So if you haven't done that, do it. Tip number 5, use a VPN on public Wi-Fi. I know using that cafe's public Wi-Fi is so convenient, but guess what? It's also unsecure, which makes it easy for hackers to intercept your data and listen to your activity. They can basically eavesdrop and look at what you're doing. So use a VPN, because that creates a secure tunnel for your data, which keeps your activity private and protected. With a VPN, your activity will be encrypted. So even if someone tries to snoop in, they'll see gibberish. So they wouldn't understand that, and that's what we want. Now, I know these tips may seem small and you're probably already aware of them, but let's be honest. Have you implemented any of them? This is the time to take action. Implement these simple tricks and tips, because they can make a big difference in keeping your digital world safe. Now, if you learned something new in this video, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more such content. For next week, we'll dive into how to start a career in cybersecurity. Probably my favorite topic, because I think it's such a great industry, and I absolutely love guiding people on how to start a career in cybersecurity. So we'll talk about that next week. Till then, stay safe, stay secure. Bye.